Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to talk about one of the most challenging but transformative experiences we go through breakups. Breakups are hard, gut wrenching, even. They leave us questioning our worth and wondering if we'll ever feel whole again. But here's the good news: there's a path forward, and it starts with one simple but powerful concept: the no contact rule. Breakups are some of the most defining moments we experience, and not because they are glamorous or celebrated, but because they force us to confront the rawness of being human. The pain, the confusion, and the emotional roller coaster, they're all part of a shared story many of us know too well. But in that chaos, there lies an extraordinary opportunity. A breakup doesn't just signal the end of a relationship. It's a turning point that challenges us to rebuild, redefine, and rediscover ourselves. When a relationship ends, it's easy to feel like you've lost a part of yourself. We pour so much of our identity into being someone's partner that we sometimes forget who we are without them. Suddenly, you're left facing a void, and the silence can feel deafening. This is the moment where many of us make the mistake of rushing to fill that void, whether it's by seeking closure, staying in contact, or trying to win the person back. But here's the truth: closure doesn't come from the other person. It comes from within. Seeing a breakup as a turning point requires a shift in perspective. It's not about erasing the pain or pretending it doesn't hurt. It's about allowing yourself to sit with the discomfort and ask, what does this moment want to teach me? Pain is a powerful teacher. It strips away the distractions and forces us to look inward, to examine our needs, our boundaries, and the patterns that brought us to this place. It's in this space of reflection that growth begins. You're not broken because a relationship ended. You're being given the opportunity to rebuild not just your life, but yourself. And in that rebuilding, you get to decide who you want to be moving forward. You get to redefine what love means to you, what you're willing to tolerate, and what you'll never settle for again. It's a chance to recalibrate your standards and reconnect with your own worth. Breakups also remind us of our resilience. In the moment, it feels like the world has stopped spinning, but slowly you start to find your footing. Each day, each small step forward is proof of your strength. You might not see it right away, but the fact that you're still standing, still showing up for yourself is powerful. So while a breakup can feel like the end, it's also the beginning of something new, something that starts with you. Embrace the turning point. It's not the closing of a chapter, it's the prelude to a better story. The no contact rule is often misunderstood as a way to punish an ex or play games, but its purpose runs much deeper. It is a boundary you set, not for them, but for yourself. It is a deliberate and compassionate decision to create space where healing can begin. When a relationship ends, emotions run high: grief, anger, sadness, and longing collide in a chaotic storm. In this vulnerable state, continuing to interact with an ex only perpetuates the emotional upheaval, making it nearly impossible to gain clarity or move forward. No contact is not just about physical distance, it's about emotional and mental detachment. It's stepping away from the triggers that keep you tethered to the past. Seeing their name on your phone, reading old messages, or scrolling through their social media feeds, each of these actions pulls you back into the narrative of the relationship. The human brain thrives on patterns, and when you repeatedly expose yourself to reminders of your ex, you reinforce the emotional attachment, making it harder to let go. Science offers insight into why no contact is so effective. Studies on emotional attachment show that breakups activate the same areas of the brain as physical pain and addiction withdrawal. Your brain craves the dopamine rush it once associated with the person, which is why you might feel a pull to reach out or check in. But just as an addict must distance themselves from their substance to recover, you too must remove the source of your emotional dependency. No contact acts as a reset button for your brain, giving it the time and space needed to recalibrate and heal. The no contact rule is not an easy path to take. It requires self-discipline and a willingness to endure discomfort. There will be moments of doubt and loneliness when the urge to reach out feels overwhelming. You might convince yourself that a simple text for closure won't hurt. But the truth is, closure doesn't come from one more conversation, it comes from within. Each time you resist the urge to break no contact, you're choosing your healing over temporary relief. This boundary is also an act of self-respect. It says, I deserve peace. I deserve the time to heal without interference. It's a statement that your well being takes precedence over lingering attachments or unresolved feelings. The no contact rule is not about avoidance, it's about reclaiming your emotional freedom. It's a commitment to yourself and the life you're working toward. The no contact rule works because it allows the brain and heart to heal without constant interruptions from the source of the pain. After a breakup, emotions are raw, and your mind is often stuck replaying memories, analyzing conversations, and searching for reasons why things fell apart. This rumination is exhausting and keeps you trapped in a cycle of longing and heartbreak. The no contact rule creates a much needed pause, allowing your emotional system to reset and your mind to start processing the relationship's end from a healthier perspective. At the core of emotional healing is the ability to regain control over your thoughts and feelings. And this is where no contact becomes invaluable. When you maintain communication with your ex, even sporadically, you're reinforcing the emotional connection. Each interaction reignites old feelings, whether it's hope, anger, or sadness. These emotional surges make it nearly impossible to detach and gain clarity. No contact severs that connection, providing the mental and emotional space you need to start letting go. On a neurological level, breakups impact the brain in profound ways. The areas responsible for attachment and reward, such as the ventral tegmental area and the nucleus accumbens, are activated during romantic relationships. When a breakup occurs, these areas go into overdrive, craving the connection and validation they once received. This craving is why you may feel compelled to reach out, scroll through old photos, or check your ex's social media. These behaviors give your brain a temporary hit of dopamine, but they also prolong the healing process. No contact disrupts this cycle, allowing your brain to gradually adjust to the absence of the relationship and begin forming new, healthier patterns. Healing also requires a shift in perspective, and this shift becomes possible only when you step back. With distance, you can begin to see the relationship more objectively. You might recognize unhealthy dynamics or patterns that were once obscured by emotions. You start to focus less on what you've lost and more on what you've learned. This clarity is one of the most powerful benefits of no contact. It allows you to move from a place of heartbreak to a place of understanding and growth. While the initial stages of no contact can feel unbearable, the process becomes easier as time passes. Each day you stick to it, you're strengthening your emotional resilience and teaching yourself that you're capable of navigating pain. The no contact rule works because it prioritizes your healing, giving you the time and space to rebuild your sense of self without distractions. It's not an act of avoidance, it's an act of profound self-care. The difficulty of letting go after a breakup often stems from the deep emotional connections we form during a relationship. When that bond is severed, it leaves a void, and our instinct is to fill it, usually by clinging to the very person we need to release. This is where the challenge of the no contact rule becomes most apparent. It's not just about avoiding communication, it's about confronting the internal struggle that makes us want to reach out in the first place. After a breakup, the mind tends to fixate on what if scenarios. You replay conversations, imagining how things could have gone differently. You might convince yourself that reaching out could bring clarity or closure, or even rekindle the relationship. This yearning often feels like an unstoppable force, driven by a combination of emotional attachment, nostalgia, and the hope of relieving the pain. However, the hard truth is that these urges rarely lead to the outcomes we desire. Instead, they keep us stuck, prolonging the healing process and deepening our emotional wounds. The longing to stay connected often comes from a fear of truly letting go. Letting go can feel like losing a part of yourself, especially if the relationship was a significant part of your life. It's natural to resist that feeling of loss, but the truth is, holding on does not prevent the pain, it amplifies it. Each interaction with your ex as a reminder of the breakup, pulling you back into the emotional whirlwind and delaying your ability to find peace. There's also a psychological element at play. The brain craves the familiar, even if it's unhealthy. The relationship, despite its end, provided a sense of routine and stability. Breaking that routine by cutting contact creates discomfort because it forces you into unfamiliar territory. This discomfort, while challenging, is necessary for growth. It's through this discomfort that you begin to build resilience and learn to navigate life on your own terms. It's important to acknowledge that letting go doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process that requires patience and self-compassion. There will be days when the silence feels unbearable and the temptation to reach out feels insurmountable. In these moments, remind yourself of why you chose no contact to prioritize your healing, reclaim your power, and create a path to a healthier future. Sticking to no contact is one of the hardest things you'll do, but it's also one of the most liberating. By choosing to let go, you're not just saying goodbye to your ex, you're opening the door to rediscovering yourself and creating space for a life filled with peace and possibility. One of the most transformative aspects of the no contact rule is its power to foster personal growth. While the initial decision to implement no contact might stem from the need to protect your emotional well-being, its impact often reaches far beyond the realm of recovery. This period of separation creates a unique opportunity to evaluate your life, reflect on your choices, and begin building a stronger, more self-aware version of yourself. Breakups have a way of shaking us to our core, forcing us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves and our relationships. In the absence of contact with your ex, you gain the clarity needed to process these truths. It's a time to reflect on the patterns and behaviors that may have contributed to the end of the relationship, not to assign blame, but to learn and grow. You might discover areas where you compromised too much, ignored red flags, or lost sight of your own needs and values. These realizations, though painful, are valuable lessons that can shape your future relationships and personal development. This period also invites you to focus on areas of your life that may have been neglected. Relationships, especially intense ones, when sometimes consume so much of our energy that other aspects of our lives fall by the wayside. Maybe you put a career goal on hold, drifted away from hobbies you once loved, or lost touch with friends and family. The no contact rule gives you the time and space to reinvest in these areas. It's an opportunity to pick up that passion project, strengthen your support system, and realign with the dreams and ambitions that make you feel alive. Personal growth during no contact isn't just about looking back, it's also about looking forward. It's a chance to set new goals and envision the kind of life you want to lead. What kind of relationships do you want to cultivate? What values will guide your choices moving forward? These questions encourage you to build a life that feels authentic and fulfilling, one that aligns with your true self, rather than being shaped by external pressures or past relationships. The most profound growth often occurs when we step outside our comfort zones, and no contact is no exception. By resisting the urge to reconnect with your ex, you're practicing emotional resilience and self-discipline skills that will serve you in every area of your life. Over time, you'll find that the pain of the breakup transforms into a sense of empowerment. The growth you experience during this period doesn't just heal your heart, it elevates you, preparing you for a future filled with strength, confidence, and possibility. Sticking to the no contact rule can sometimes feel like an uphill battle, particularly when emotions are running high and the desire to reconnect is strong. But the very act of maintaining this boundary can be one of the most empowering choices you can make in your healing process. The commitment to no contact is not just about abstaining from communication, it's about cultivating self-discipline, practicing emotional control, and choosing to prioritize your well-being over temporary emotional relief. One of the most challenging aspects of maintaining no contact is resisting the urge to reach out during moments of vulnerability. You may find yourself thinking, I just want to check in, or it won't hurt to send one message. However, every time you break no contact, you extend the emotional healing process, reinforcing the attachment and prolonging the pain. This is why sticking to no contact requires self-discipline. It's about resisting short-term impulses in favor of long-term emotional health. Every time you fight the urge to contact your ex, you are reinforcing your ability to set boundaries, trust your decisions, and honor your healing process. The temptation to break no contact often arises from a place of uncertainty and emotional discomfort. When you're in the midst of a breakup, the absence of communication can feel like an unbearable void. You might find yourself questioning if you're doing the right thing or wondering if reaching out could provide closure or clarity. However, it's essential to remind yourself that closure doesn't come from external sources, it comes from within. It comes from taking the time and space to reflect, process, and heal on your own. Reconnecting with your ex for closure is often a fleeting illusion that keeps you stuck in the past. No contact gives you the opportunity to cultivate closure through your own personal growth, not through the validation or approval of someone else. In addition to emotional discipline, Maintaining no contact also builds resilience. Each day you stick to the rule, you strengthen your emotional fortitude, proving to yourself that you are capable of navigating discomfort and moving through difficult emotions. Over time, you'll notice that the intense need to reach out diminishes and you gain more control over your emotions. This process doesn't happen overnight, but with each passing day, you move closer to emotional freedom. It's important to be gentle with yourself during this process. Sticking to no contact doesn't mean you won't experience moments of weakness, but it does mean you're choosing to take responsibility for your healing. You're giving yourself the opportunity to recover fully without external distractions or unresolved emotional ties. By remaining committed to this boundary, you're reaffirming your worth, your power, and your ability to build a future that's grounded in self-love and respect. The no contact rule ultimately serves as a powerful tool for reclaiming your emotional well-being and paving the way for healthier future relationships. While the pain of a breakup can feel overwhelming in the moment, the decision to implement no contact is one of the most proactive steps you can take toward healing. It allows you to regain control over your emotional state, remove yourself from the cycle of pain and longing, and create the necessary space for personal growth. The key to understanding the effectiveness of the no contact rule lies in its ability to break the emotional cycle that often follows a breakup. When you continue to communicate with your ex, even if it's just sporadic contact or social media interactions, you're constantly reopening emotional wounds. The back and forth communication can confuse your emotions, making it difficult to fully let go of the relationship. No contact provides a clean break, allowing you to step away from the emotional chaos and focus on healing without the constant reminders of your past relationship. This separation from your ex allows you to reorient yourself and rebuild your emotional stability, free from the distractions of unresolved feelings. One of the most profound outcomes of adhering to the no contact rule is the ability to rediscover your sense of self. Relationships often require compromises and adjustments, and in the process, it's easy to lose touch with who you are as an individual. After a breakup, you may feel disconnected from the person you were before the relationship or unsure of your identity without your ex by your side. No contact creates the space to reconnect with yourself, your passions, hobbies, desires, and dreams. This rediscovery is essential to moving forward in a healthy way and ensures that you're not entering future relationships from a place of neediness or dependency, but rather from a place of emotional independence and strength. Moreover, the no contact rule provides an opportunity to reset your emotional boundaries. Breakups often expose areas where boundaries may have been blurred, either through unhealthy patterns or a lack of communication. Through no contact, you have the chance to reflect on those boundaries, understand where they were compromised, and learn how to enforce them in future relationships. This personal growth not only helps you avoid repeating past mistakes, but also sets the stage for cultivating relationships that are healthier, more balanced, and respectful of your emotional needs. Ultimately, by embracing the no contact rule, you give yourself the chance to heal in a way that is both profound and lasting. It's not about erasing the past or pretending the relationship never mattered. It's about taking back control of your life and emotions, creating the space necessary for healing, and moving forward with clarity and strength. The no contact rule is not just a period of silence, it's a step toward a better, more resilient version of yourself. In conclusion, the no contact rule after a breakup is a powerful, transformative practice that allows you to heal, grow, and reclaim your emotional well-being. It's not merely about silence or separation, it's a deliberate choice to create the space needed for self-reflection, healing, and personal growth. By sticking to no contact, you're allowing yourself the opportunity to break free from the emotional cycles that keep you tied to the past. You're giving yourself the chance to rediscover your identity, rebuild your emotional strength, and set healthier boundaries for the future. While the journey may be challenging at times, the reward is profound. A deeper sense of self, renewed emotional independence, and a stronger foundation for future relationships. The no contact rule isn't just an act of removing someone from your life, it's an act of choosing yourself, your peace, and your healing. Through this choice, you not only mend your heart, but also empower yourself to create a more fulfilling and authentic future. So, if you're in the trenches of heartbreak, remember this: no contact isn't just a rule, it's your lifeline. It's hard, yes, but it's also transformative. You've got this. And on the days it feels impossible, remind yourself that healing isn't about forgetting them, it's about remembering you. Thank you.